Hello, everyone. This is Jasper, and welcome back to the Newton Public Schools Alumni Association podcast series. And today we have another special guest joining us. Today we have Andrew here with us. So, welcome to the podcast, Andrew. And I guess we like to start us off by introducing yourself quickly, like when you graduate itself, as well as what you're doing now.
Yeah. Uh, my name is Andrew. I graduated Newton South in 2020, right before the pandemic. And I went to UMass Lowell for 4 years and I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. I now work for this company called Boston Metal as an operations engineer. So basically, what we're doing at Boston Metal is that we're trying to basically create carbon-free steel making. So the molten oxide electrolysis process, long story short, is basically just making metal via chemistry, basically reversing the oxidation or rusting process. And I'm on a team with other people that need to be there 24/7 to ensure that our experiments will succeed.
I see. That's fantastic. So I guess you've graduated college already. You're kind of working in the industry already, and I guess you're expecting to also continue working in the mechanical engineering degree. So I guess based on your time at South, are there any particular courses that you feel maybe helped you with your mechanical engineering degree, either by giving you some prerequisite knowledge or helping you set a foundation?
I definitely think all the math classes at Newton South definitely prepared me, not just for college, but for the workforce. I definitely remember AB Calc was very fundamental for me. It teaches you basically all you need for college and beyond. And it's just great for, as I said, just giving you foundations, making you look at problems a certain way. It helps with critical thinking skills, and essentially, it is just beneficial for the future.
I see. That's amazing. So, you've taken a bunch of courses here itself, and you say that AB was one of those that maybe gave you a lot of information. But is there maybe one specific teacher, or maybe two or three teachers that you feel maybe had the largest impact on you as a student?
I would definitely say so. One of the teachers at South that I definitely remember was Miss Dolan. She was my homeroom teacher too, and
Okay.
in junior year, I took math with her, and I definitely remember by the end of the year, we were actually ahead of all the other classes,
Oh,
and so she started teaching us limits, which are very important for calculus and beyond, and that just gave me a lot of perspective on things in the world, just how just math was so important. It really developed my skills, and I feel like I wouldn't be here without Miss Dolan.
I see. That's amazing. So I guess, you've had so many courses here itself. Are there any maybe clubs or programs outside of courses that you were maybe engaged in with South that you feel maybe were helpful for you, either directly or indirectly in life?
Um, I definitely think so. It wasn't directly helping me with my academic life, but this club definitely helped me with my social life. I was part of the anime club, and I made so many friends there that I feel like I wouldn't have otherwise, and really helped
I
me
see.
develop my people skills, my social skills, and that's one thing about the beauty of Newton South is that no matter what you do, no matter what clubs you join, it will impact your life positively.
I see. That's amazing. So I guess transitioning to college then, you've already gone through the entire 4 years at college. So I guess, one quick thing that you could maybe share about your college experience is, as high schoolers, we kind of do a bit of research on what college is going to be like and, how different college is from high school. Like, for instance, maybe you get to choose your own courses now, you get to use your time a bit more freely, but you don't really ever get the full experience just by kind of researching online. But for people who have actually gone through the whole 4 years of college, what is one thing that you feel maybe you coming into college might not really expect about college life?
Uh, One thing that really surprised me about college in general that I just wasn't expecting at all was that a lot of the homeworks and a lot of the projects assigned in college, at least for engineering, were all weekly. They weren't daily. We didn't get any daily homeworks. We all got weekly homework. And so this
Mm, I
allowed us
see.
to do our homeworks and projects on our own time. We weren't forced to do it right after a day of classes or anything. We could maybe spend one day doing another class homework, or maybe just not doing anything because tired or wanted to do whatever I wanted. But then another day, I would sit down and just grind it all out. And this kind of goes into another thing that I feel like is really important. Um, Third spaces. You might have heard it before, but basically, um, a third space is like home would be your first space. You would live, sleep, eat,
Right.
and your second space would be school or work, where you would learn, you would do work and stuff. But then the third space is where you can separate yourself from the first two spaces. You can do whatever you want. And for me, that was at UMass Lowell, the maker space. And
Mm, okay.
at UMass Lowell, as it was a third space, I could just zone out, do my homework, do whatever. And I actually did most of my homework at UMass Lowell at the makerspace. I felt like I couldn't do it at home because there was too many distractions, and obviously I can't do homework during class.
Right, I see. Okay. So it's kind of like, finding a place in college that maybe you feel very tied to, like where you feel a sense of belonging, essentially. Does that sound right?
Yes.
I see. That's amazing. So I guess, you're part of high school. You talked a lot about your courses and how, rigorous they are, as well as, how free they are in terms of when you can choose to do them and submit them. But I guess, there are other parts of college that maybe many people maybe feel like, aside from academics, I got to juggle all these different things. Like I have to apply for all these scholarships and internships. I have to join all these clubs and be engaged with them. So I guess, aside from courses, you've also done some things at college. How do you feel like you maybe juggled between them, as well as, how do you think maybe applying for internships or scholarships helped you with your post undergrad life?
Um, Applying for internships and scholarships are definitely very stressful, but it teaches you something that not all people have learned by then, and it's the reality of sometimes you don't get in, sometimes you fail, but that also teaches you once that happens, once you fail, once you get knocked down, you get back up, you keep on trying, and you try at your own pace. There's no need to rush, there's no need to fight it, there's no need to force it, but get up on your own pace and eventually you'll find something.
I see. That's amazing. So I guess, talking about your mechanical engineering degree and how, you've managed to land a job so quickly out of college, which is honestly really amazing. I guess maybe would you mind sharing maybe one or two things you did in college that probably contributed the most to your pursuit of this track of mechanical engineering?
I think one of the major things I did in college, besides the classes that contributed, was definitely my hobby of 3D printing. And
Oh, wow.
so throughout college, I just got more into 3D printing, and I learned a lot about printers. I learned a lot about materials, material science, and I feel like that really helped me with my resume and applying for jobs.
See. And for 3D printing, what are some things that you like to 3D print when it's kind of a freestyle form, aside from, printing for work and school?
One of the things I do in my hobby actually with 3D printing is as I make model trains. And so I
Wow.
actually have one right here. So I design uh, these 3D printed shells to on SolidWorks. And then at school, I would use the 3D printers there to print them out, and then I would paint them, and I would attach them to chassis. And one right here is
Oh,
this.
wow. That's beautiful. That kind of looks like an actual toy developed by a company. That looks very professional. I
Thank you.
see. So you kind of just do this as a hobby. Do you try to, I guess, talk about it and I guess, with your professors and such and improve your models, etc.?
I did, yeah. So uh, at the UMass Lowell Makerspace, I would often talk to other people who are interested in 3D printing or using laser cutters or lathes, and I would just get a lot of information from people interested in going to adjacent trades such as manufacturing or designing,
Oh, wow.
such as that. And I would get a lot of information and a lot of advice from people who just made me who I am today.
I see, that's amazing. I know 3D printing kind of sounds like a hobby, something a lot more casual and maybe not as formal as like, having a full-blown internship. And a lot of high schoolers right now kind of are worried, like, if I don't get an internship, something very, very formal I could put on my CV, I'm kind of doomed. So I guess, you here have like a huge part of yourself being 3D printing, something that turned out to be very successful for you. So I guess, how do you maybe put that and express your love for 3D printing in a way that might not be as formal as having an internship but still had the same impact nonetheless?
I would say try to frame what you do in your hobbies as something that can contribute to your CV or resume. Again, for me, for 3D printing, I make my model trains myself on SolidWorks, and learning how to CAD is a very important skill in the path of a mechanical engineer. It's a very modern tool, but it's something that everyone learns in the degree now. And at least for engineering and mechanical engineering, again, tying something like 3D printing, making your own stuff, working with your hands, and tying that all into your degree, your resume, it would help so much.
I see. Well, that is certainly something that you will almost always win at a two truths, one lie at. Like, what do you think? I 3D print. Oh, I 3D print model trains. Who would have expected that? So I guess you had such a vast array of life experiences, much more than us high schoolers who are basically fresh and green to the world. So I guess what is one value or mindset that you feel maybe has brought you super far in life, all the way to the successful position they're at now, and you feel like for us having high schoolers mindsets, maybe keeping that in mind when going into college and also in life would also help us take us just as far as you have.
I definitely think just one thing to keep in mind always is that if you have the opportunities or if you have resources available, don't hesitate to use it. Don't hesitate to say, if your parents, like my parents say, oh, you can live at home as long as you want, then live at home. It cuts down on costs for room and board. It cuts down on costs in the real world right now. The housing market's not fun. Um, and just, again, if you have any resources, make friends with professors. They can get you very far in life. They can grant you opportunities that you might not have otherwise. And if you know anyone in any industries uh, that you make friends with and you're interested in working for, you know, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I love what you do. I'm very interested in what you do. Could you help me out with something?" Like how we scheduled this conversation through LinkedIn. Don't
Right.
be
Yeah.
afraid to just reach out.
That's true. I see. Well, thank you so much for today, Andrew. I hope that everyone listening has learned a vast amount of information from Andrew about, how to frame your life in college and, how to approach life overall, because I personally have absorbed a lot from this conversation. So thank you once again to Andrew for coming today. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.